I didn't care that it was rotting. I knew where he was. He was right there in that bedroom with the lights on, with me trying to sleep and a little bitty baby in the baby bed next to us with him, you know, at his typewriter writing. So I knew where he was. I could sleep, but when he's not there, I wondered where he was, what he was doing. He's usually out at a bar.
There's so much material in there.
Yeah, that's what he says.
But that's what I've been around, and what I'm still around. It's one of the things that I know the best.
I'm sure that's where most of his stories come from. Sitting at a bar. The slimier the better, you know?
The way I do, I go to a bar for a while, then when I leave that bar, I don't go back no more. I just kind of move around. In the case of Opals, it got to be the damn level of humanity coming in the damn place was too bad to put up with. I mean, it got to where they was having shootings and stabbings, and some dude walked in there one day, somebody whipped him the night before, and he brought in the damn 30-30 and let off a round right through the middle of the damn bar there. And it just got to be too damn rough for me. I mean, when I go out, I'm not looking for no damn trouble or somebody stick a knife in my face. I want to have a few drinks, you know, and have a good time. All this fighting bullshit, So I started Opals, then I went to Ireland's, where some more of my stories are set and a lot of the stuff in On Fire is set. And then I went to City Grocery, and I'm still at City Grocery now. So it's just like a natural thing for me to put a story in a bar, because that's where I spend so much of my life at, in a bar. Because that's where I hang out with my friends.
He loves his friends. Friends are very, very important to Larry.
Most of the time I stay by myself in that room back there writing.
She comes into this bar one night, she took a stool. And I noticed the tight jeans and the short dark hair and like a slinky white shirt. Hey. Sometimes at first glance the bodies look young, but the faces are not. This one didn't look old. Some friends I was supposed to meet hadn't shown up yet. I don't know why I didn't just get up and go home. I knew the kids asked my wife where I went and why. Her jeans were so tight that she had trouble getting the money out. And then she'd look straight at me and ask me what I liked. I told her to play E19. What's that? She said, and I picked up my beer and went over to her.
I don't plan ahead for things. All you gotta have is a character and a place and a situation, what's going on, and then introduce another character into it, have these two people interact, and then see what happens with them, and then find out all this other stuff that's been going on in the past. Yeah. It's to me, it's just like, to me, it's really fascinating to see what they're going to do next. What are they going to do next? And then they do something totally unexpected that you did not see coming, and then you know, bang, okay, that's what's going on here. That's the payoff for me.
All I had to do was be halfway cool and let her tell me about herself. People's favorite subject is themselves. She worked in this factory somewhere in town at a desk and a computer, and she'd moved there recently. I kept ahead of her drinking-wise so that I could keep paying, and after 3 I looked around and noticed that the bar was full of people. I asked her if she wanted to go for a ride, and she said yes. She dug into her purse and held up a twisted length of grass and a pink paper. After that, the music sounded better than ever. When I killed the motor, I could hear everything. Bullfrogs and whippoorwills, cars somewhere far off. She put my hands on the places they wanted to be. She was more than eager. She seemed desperate. She was all over me, hands, mouth. I thought you said this was safe. Well, I thought it was. Hell, I don't know who this is. And the car just sat there, right? I cranked the engine and pulled up beside whoever it was. I couldn't see anybody inside. It was like there was nobody driving it. And then we went on past it and out of sight a ways. And she didn't say anything for a while. And finally she said, "Next time we'll get us a room." There's not going to be a next time, darling.
That sex, that's what starts all the trouble. Between people. Or maybe not always starts it, but it sure adds fuel to the fire. Yeah, the worse you can make it on your characters, I think the better it is. You know, sandbag them and load them up with this stuff. And I try to start with trouble on the first page. Trouble on the first page.
The lights were off at the house. She'd even cut off the carport light. There wasn't even a lamp on. And then there was. "Where have you been?" "Riding around." "You know what time it is?" "No, what time is it?" "You can't keep doing me like this." "Okay, all right. Now can I go to bed?" I went into the bedroom where my baby son was sprawled in the middle of the bed. I took my clothes off and lay down beside him, touched his hair and the side of his face. I thought of how horrible my life was, then I closed my eyes. Just before I drifted off to sleep, I was vaguely aware of her getting into bed. She didn't speak. And the next thing I knew, the alarm was going off. I have the kind of job where I don't have to be there every day, and I wanted to be on a boat in a lake with a pole in my hand and a cooler full of cold beer to help me think over everything I needed to think over. I was messing up with these other women. I got home pretty late. And I only had 3 miserable fish, but still I was determined to cook fish for my whole family. The kids were playing ball in the yard. Me, I was plenty drunk. She came up to me and tried to kiss me, and we messed around some right there in the carport. And then she got hot. And before I knew it, we were back in the bedroom with clothes part way off bumping together. That was when one of my kids shot his head around the side of the window and said, "Hey, Dad, you want to pitch a few balls?" He slunk away with many looks back. I got my clothes on and got the hell away from there. Some more nights later, I saw her come in again, but I didn't look at her, and she did her jukebox routine again. I knew she was going to sidle over, and pretty soon she did. "What do you got the blues about?" "We gonna do it again tonight? Please?" We wound up back in the same place. I knew lightning didn't strike twice. sat up in the seat and reached under it for my pistol. Told her I was getting a little tired of this shit. Somebody threw a light in my face and told me to freeze. I heard a couple of shotgun safeties snick off real soft. Just hold it, boy. Don't turn around. Now drop that gun. Now spread out on that fender there. I got frisked while she was putting her clothes on. She'd wisely hidden the joint in her panties. They told me they'd appreciate the shit out of it if I'd find somewhere else to park because they were working on busting some people right here, and they were sure I didn't want to be mixed up in it. I think it was like 3:47 when I got on home, after we'd finished with a motel room we'd used for about 24 minutes. I got on my forklift the next day and drove it all around the plant. I was on my back porch smoking a cigarette. What are you doing? Nothing. You want to take the kids out to eat tonight? Not really. What you got planned? Nothing. You don't enjoy this, do you? Why would you say that? Because I can tell. You want a divorce? Not really. Well, I hate that you're so unhappy.
Just because he writes women characters, that doesn't mean it's me or any part of the family, or his characters are not always us. The only thing I remember thinking that the refrigerator was full of Diet Coke cans. That was me. But that was, that's about it. People shouldn't think. And I did have one person ask me, did Larry abuse me?
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, no. Larry would never lay a hand on me. When it's nonfiction, like On Fire, those stories, yeah, that's fine, that's our life. But the stuff that the novels and the short stories he writes, that's not us.
We happened again about a week later. She didn't even mess with the jukebox. She just made a beeline for me and got me by the arm. Come on over to my house. Well, I thought, why didn't we do this before? We couldn't even wait for the bed, had to get down on the couch. And that's where we were when a vehicle pulled up in front. And she starts making frantic motions, but I thought it was just the heat of passion. And then the doors flung open, and there's this big maniac coming towards the couch. I didn't mess with any diplomacy. I picked up a lamp and cracked him in the head with it. I called her about 900 different kinds of bitch before I got my clothes on and got out of there. But I did get out of there, hoping like hell he wasn't dead. I didn't know what to do after that. So I stayed home. Didn't go out and hit any bars. I hung around the house and watched TV, drank coffee on the couch, helped the kids with their homework, played daddy. I came in a couple of times and started supper, and put clothes into wash, mopped the kitchen floor, dusted the furniture. My wife got to glowing. Things were great between us in bed. But I wanted that other one again because it was different and dangerous now. And so the peace and tranquility only lasted about a week. 9 days tops.
I think when you can't do anything else for your characters, when you can't help them anymore, then you know it's over. When you've done all you can do for them.
The last time I saw him, he came in the bar with her. They saw me about the same time I saw them. She was drunk on her ass. He eyeballed me, wouldn't turn his back on me. I saw him checking the exits. I was wondering what to hit the son of a bitch with this time. There wasn't anything in there but cue sticks and balls. There was probably a shotgun behind the counter, but I knew I'd never make it to that. There was always the side door, but I didn't think I was quite ready for that either. I wanted to see what her act was. I got up and put some money in the jukebox and sat back down. She swayed on the bar stool and looked over her shoulder at me and winked. And his beer slammed down and he was coming. I picked up the stool I was sitting on and just gave it to him. We found some place off in the woods. Not the same place, not her house, not a motel room, just a place off in the woods. She fed the end of a joint to me, and I fed the end of a joint to her, and I wondered, what was the purpose? Then she laid those lips on me, and we moved down in the seat, and I knew that it wouldn't be but a little bit before those headlights, somebody's, would ease around the curve.